In today's session, we'll be discussing about some basics of natural language processing and also how natural language processing is linked to your artificial intelligence subject, which is part of our unit 5. Okay. Yeah. Everybody might be fascinated to learn about the concepts of computer science, which can be like machine learning or deep learning, which we have seen prior, among which now NLP is one important area of computer science, which is now in a boom with respect to your artificial intelligence. So you can see a small picture about your Venn diagram. You can see how natural language processing is used in different areas. So you can see it is linked to your computer science, and also it is part of your AI, and also it will try to mimic the knowledge of your human being. So it will try to see how human language is helping with respect to your machine learning. Okay. So however, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and NLP all are the parts of your computer science only. Okay. So NLP stands for natural language processing, which is part of computer science, human intelligence, and also artificial intelligence. Okay. Yeah. Is anybody having any clarity about what actually is this natural language processing and why we are learning NLP as a subject for your artificial intelligence, right? So because NLP is a branch of artificial intelligence that helps computers understand, interpret, and manipulate human language. So here you can see NLP is linked to your artificial intelligence, NLP is linked to your computer science, it is also linked to your human language. So the main theme of this natural language processing is that it will try to add some knowledge or uh, helps computers to understand and interpret human language. So how human beings are communicating with respect to different languages. In the same manner, computers also will be trying to understand the different languages with respect to text, with respect to the speech, and also with respect to how a human being communicate between them with respect to emails, whatever it is. So in the same manner, NLP helps intelligent agents or computers and algorithms to make that human knowledge applicable with respect to computer science. So it helps developers to organize knowledge from performing tasks such as machine translation or language translation, automatic summarization, named entity recognition, speech recognition, relationship extraction, and also topic segmentation. So as you can see, these are some of the things which we can do with respect to your natural language processing. Okay. Yeah. So here's a question for us, like how does AI relate to natural language processing? So guys, the same type of questions also can be asked for your short answer questions during examinations. So you people need to focus on the basics of your natural language processing. Okay. So when you take AI and focus it on human linguistics, that is different types of languages, you get natural language processing. And also if you want to add some intelligence with respect to some linguistics or different languages, you need to incorporate many skills like grammar mistakes, whatever the grammar with respect to English or other languages, everything need to be into consideration. So NLP makes it possible for humans to talk to machines. So this is a simple line which we can define your natural language processing. It makes it possible for humans to talk with computers, or it can be with machines or intelligent agents. Okay. So this branch of artificial intelligence enables computers to understand, interpret, and manipulate human language, as we have seen in the previous slide. Okay. So like how we have learned about machine learning and deep learning, the methods of your neural networks, in the same manner NLP is also a subset of your artificial intelligence. Okay. So everyone need to have a proper understanding about what is the difference between this natural language processing and AI. So NLP is also a part or a subject which is a subset of your AI. Okay. Yeah. So let's get deep into the concepts of your natural language processing. So whenever you're talking about natural language processing, you will be having many sub areas, as this is also one of the subjects. So we cannot define NLP in one or two sessions. So it will be like you'll need to get into the concept of NLP and try to understand its syntactical things, and also how it is being divided. So for that reason, I'm just giving you a glance of what are the various components linked to your natural language processing. So you can see basically it is classified into some subcategories like natural language understanding, and next natural language generation. So how a machine understands various syntaxes, various lexical uh, context from the text. That's what comes under your natural language understanding. And also how natural we'll talk about natural language generation, in which we talk about text planning, sentence planning, text realization are the categories which are linked to your natural language generation. So in the next slides, we will try to talk about these concepts in depth. Okay. Yeah. So, talking about this natural language processing and natural language generation, so these two have gained much importance in the field of computer science with respect to machine learning or artificial intelligence, due to the critical need to understand text. So, because we are having a huge amount of text with respect to big data applications, and also you know that data is of different types, like structured data, unstructured data, semi-structured data. And if you're talking about this social media sites, you'll be having n number of different structures of your data. Sometimes some files will be of text data with only text contents. Sometimes you may have your data with respect to text, images, audio files, some clippings, clipboards, animations, likewise videos. So there are a lot of stuff which is available with respect to your textual data. So a machine need to understand such type of documents, and it need to give some effective results. That's the reason NLP has got much more prominence in recent times. Okay, yeah. So NLP and NLG, which stands for natural language generation, have removed many of the communication barriers between humans and computers by translating machine language into human language. So as everybody of you might be using a Google translation tool, which will be trying to convert different languages. Suppose if you are going for a new place, so nowadays many applications are being developed, wherein suppose if I take example, like if I am going to Tamil Nadu without any knowledge of Tamil language, so if I want to communicate with them directly, it is very impossible for me, right? So in the same manner, if somebody from Tamil Nadu comes here to the Telangana or some other Hyderabad places, it will be very difficult for them to directly read their languages or talk, communicate with people. That's the reason there was some communication barrier between human beings with respect to various languages. So, however, we are having a common language as a national language, but there are some barriers still, because everybody of them might not be very clear with the Hindi language. So, there are some applications or use cases needs which needs some translation tools. If I say I'm writing a text in my UI, and if it can be converted to Tamil language, then I can understand. Or if I scan a Tamil text, if it is converted into English, that will be something helpful for me. So these are some of the applications which are being developed in many from many days, and also there is wide research going on in this area. Okay, so we can say these two are the communication have removed some communication barriers between human beings and computers by translating machine language into a human being language, and also by creating opportunities for humans to accomplish the tasks that were impossible before. So because of the advancement of technology and also the introduction of these natural language processing concepts, so it made many of the researchers to concentrate well on this concept, and that's the reason we are having n number of applications which can be used right away. So that's how it was natural language processing is an area which you all need to concentrate in the upcoming years if you are going for your higher studies with respect to different foreign countries. And also if you are interested in doing research, this is a one of the important field wherein you are having many opportunities. Okay, so I want everybody of you to just have a glance in today's session. But beyond this, if you are interested in doing some projects or any other uh, achievements in the upcoming years, so NLP is one area where you can look into. Okay, yeah. So talking about some domain knowledge or some in-depth concept of your natural language processing. So let's talk about what are the areas in or what are the widely used libraries with respect to your natural language processing. So there are many libraries available, like with respect to NLP. Once you get into the concept of your NLP, you'll be finding many libraries. But here I'm just representing some important tools and also libraries which will be which are used widely by researchers and also in software techies, right? So NLTK is natural language toolkit is one important tool which is widely used in your natural language processing. So the features of this tool are it is the most well-known and full NLP library. So you'll be finding many libraries which are linked to your natural language processing in this toolkit, and you have plenty of approaches to each NLP task. So it can be related to your grammar or any analysis with respect to your NLP. You can download this NLTK tool and apply your Python programming skills and do your task, right? So it supports large number of languages like English, some regional languages also it will be supporting, and you can use your own uh, syntaxes or libraries to develop your own syntax, your own languages also. So it is not integrated with word vectors, and that is one tool which is used in with respect to your NLP. And next one is Spacey, or is a second important tool or library which is used with respect to your natural language processing. And NLP toolkit, that is with respect to your learn, is one library which is used with respect to your NLP. And you can see the last one, that is Gensim, is one important library or tool which is used with respect to your NLP development. Okay, so these all are basically like how have seen your machine learning concepts. The same concepts can be directly downloaded with respect to your NLP subjects. So you can see NLP toolkits gives you effective machine learning implementation, and Gensim gives you your clustering concepts with respect to your deep learning. So that's how you are having. So, these are some of the tools or libraries which are used, and here you can see the brief explanation of these concepts with respect to your NLP. So this is what scikit-learn. I hope many of you who are working on projects might have learned about this scikit library, which is a deep learning library, which is also useful for your natural language processing. So it provides a wide range of algorithms for building machine learning models in Python. So however, this also can be used for your natural language processing. So as I said, natural language toolkit, it is a complete toolkit for all NLP techniques. So pattern is one important library. Again, TextBlob, QPy, Spacey, Gensim, as we have discussed in previous slide. So these are some of the concepts or the libraries which we need to learn in the upcoming years whenever you are working with your natural language processing. Okay, yeah. So here are some of the widely used areas of your natural language processing. So there are many other areas still, but however, I have taken some basic or the widely used applications of your natural language processing. So the first one is automatic summarization. So like this is an example for which suppose if I am having the best example what you can take for this is a newspaper. So this is one important application or a project which you can look into in the upcoming years. So whenever you are trying to concentrate with respect to your natural language processing. So if I take example of a news channel where you will be having a continuous day news, so you'll be having some headlines, right? So headline is like a summary or a brief subject description for your complete news. So this is basically given by human beings in real world. So the same thing can be done by using your natural language processing, that is text summarization or automatic summarization. So if you are giving a lot of textual content, and if you want to summarize that, then NLP provides you such type of things. Okay, so it intelligently shortens long pieces of text. So if you're having a paragraph or 100 lines of text, it can be summarized into 1 or 2 lines by using your automatic summarization. So how that can be done, all those things we can see in the earlier sessions when you're talking about your syllabus. Okay. Yeah. So as I said previously, application is about your named entity recognition. That is, it will locate and classify named entities, predefined categories such as the organizations, person name, locations, etc. So yeah. So the most commonly used regular keywords whenever you are feeding them, that can be easily understood by machine with respect to your named entity recognition. Okay. And next important area is sentiment analysis, which is a widely used application with respect to social media reviews or fake news detection. Some areas which we are already working on these areas. So this is one important area. Like you can see here, you're having some emojis recognition, some suppose if you can see social media Twitter, where you'll be finding many comments which can be positive or negative tweets. So if you want to classify such type of text by understanding your sentences in different languages, we actually use your natural language processing for sentiment analysis. Okay. And next one is your speech recognition. As I said, if you are unable to, if you are an uneducated person, and if you still want to use your natural language processing, so you'll be giving you a speech that will be identified and recorded, and accordingly it will try to translate that speech. And also you can see if you are following YouTube videos or regularly, or even my channel, if you are just passing to that channel, so whatever the content, if I am talking, you will be getting some labels over there, right? So automatically it is identifying text, and it is giving you some text according to my speech recognition. So YouTube is functioning with respect to this NLP only. So the content, the speech, whatever we are going to talk, that is being applicable with respect to your YouTube content also. So likewise, you can see Google Assistant is one important application, Cortana for Nokia, Apple Siri. It will try to identify your speech, and accordingly it is searching. It is having many searching mechanisms. Okay, yeah, that is one important application with respect to your natural language processing. And next one is topic segmentation, which is a research area with respect to your information retrieval or speech recognition only. So if you are giving your search words or keywords, it will try to get you relevant information. That is something about your topic segmentation. Okay, yeah. So now let's look into some of the applications of your natural language processing. So these were the widely used areas what we have discussed till now. And now let's look into the in-depth applications of your natural language processing with respect to your real world entities, right? So the first application what we can discuss about your question answering. So I hope everybody is now aware of one important site called as Quora, where you will be getting your responses from people according to your questionnaire. So basically, you can see you'll be getting some recommendations also with respect to your feedbacks or the previously watched things. So whenever you are having some question answer type of things, so you can apply this NLP language and apply this in your real world project planning also. So whenever you want to develop your chatbot, I machine it to understand your questionnaire. And also sometimes you can see some of the website applications are now trying to develop these chatbots, where it will be trying to question you something and give you some choices like yes or no. So that's how there are some innovations which already being happened. And also there is much research happening in real world with respect to your natural language processing. Okay, yeah. So second one is your email spam detection to classify by understanding the textual content. Sometimes you can see you are having many applications which are trying to attack your mails, because mails contain some important information. So there is some hacking also being happening in recent days. So if you want to classify your mails, how they are email, or automatically sometimes you can see in Gmail some mails directly go into your spam. So without your intervention only, some mails will be moved into spam, which are actually not of our interest. So if you are reporting any of the mails, it may be going into spam. So how this can be done? How Google is trying to identify some mails as spam. So it is trying to understand these NLP concepts, and it is implementing these NLP methods to identify your email spam detection. So even in upcoming days, if you want to work on such type of projects, you are having many applications with respect to your uh, email spam detection. Okay. And next one is sentiment analysis. As I have said previously, emotions or reviews of people are considered, and how people are reacting for some tweets or posts, whether they are positive tweets or negative tweets, how many of them are positive, how many are negative. You can take movie reviews, how many of them are giving some positive reviews for movie. So that can be done, that can be understood with respect to sentiment analysis using your natural language processing. And also machine translation, language translation, as we have seen previously. Spelling correction is one important area where you are having wide applications with respect to NLP. So if you are using your Microsoft Word, whenever you are giving some wrong spelling, it will give you a red color indication. So when you right click, and automatically you get a recommendation for correct spelling. This is one of the application of your natural language processing. So you need to design some applications of this type to check, automatically check spellings, grammar in your sentence. And also you can see Microsoft MS Office also gives you your sentence correction also. So whenever you are not giving a sentence properly, so even when you are writing your emails, it is trying to recommend you some next words according to your inputs. That is also part of your natural language processing only. Okay. Next one is, as I said, chatbots is one application which everybody is now concentrating. And information extraction is, which is part of your semantic web, which we'll be talking about in your next slides. Okay. Yeah. So advantages of using your natural language processing. So there are many advantages and also some disadvantages, which we can call as limitations. So let's talk about the advantages of your natural language processing. So NLP helps users to to ask questions about any subject and get a direct response within seconds. So as you can see, chatbot is one example of your NLP advantage, where as soon as your questionnaire is asked, it will try to fetch the knowledge, whatever it's having from the expert system, and accordingly it will react in just short span of time. So you can see many applications with respect to your banking applications, where you get your balance on a single click only by with your chatbot. And also the some inquiries can be done using your natural language processing. Okay. Yeah. So NLP offers exact answers to the question, which means it does not offer unnecessary and unwanted information. So if you are taking real world applications like chatbots, where it will try to give you only answers according to you. And also you people might be interested about your Google Assistant. So many of you, whenever you are bored, you will be trying to ask any unnecessary questions and check whether Google Assistant is working well or not. So likewise, whenever you're asking for some information, it only gives you information according to that. And also, you can see some applications like Cortana or Siri, which will try to respond according to some information from the your inputs only. It will never try to give you some unwanted information. And also the information provided, that will be appropriate, because it only tries to give you from the previous responses. So if the information is not available, it will clearly say that I am not trained with this question. Okay. Yeah. So NLP helps computers to communicate with humans in their languages. So yeah, as the theme of NLP is to interact or remove the communication barriers between human beings and computers. So NLP helps the computers to communicate with human beings in their own language. So it is very time efficient. We can save a lot of time instead of searching for a number of documents. So, and also it removes the burden of typing and also unnecessary things with respect to your real world entities. So most of the companies use NLP to improve the efficiency of documentation process, accuracy of documentation, and also to identify the information from large databases. So even Google, Facebook, Microsoft, many companies are trying to work on this NLP to make the documentation effective. to improve the documentation parts by understanding various textual things. So that is how NLP has many advantages with respect to many organizations. Okay, now let's move on to the disadvantages or limitations of your natural language processing. So NLP may not show the context very well. That is one important problem of your NLP. The context might not be clear at times when you're talking about your NLP. So again, NLP is unpredictable because of the limited training models. So if you are training your model or the algorithm to limited things, then NLP is unpredictable, and also NLP may require more keystrokes. So NLP might not give you exact solution if you're not training it properly. So NLP is unable to adapt to new domain, and it has a limited function. That's why NLP is built for a single and specific task only. So you cannot design one NLP machine and try to give it for everything. Suppose, for example, if I say I'm having a chatbot which is designed for my web page, it cannot be used for other website also, because it need to have information of all the databases. Okay, that's the reason even one chatbot cannot be used for n number of applications. So everyone is developing their own applications with respect to chatbot. So that's how we basically have applications for limited domains only. Okay, yeah. So now let's talk into move into the chapter 5 concepts with this slide. So we'll try to understand the concepts of what is this difference between your natural language and computer language. Yeah. So natural language has a very large vocabulary, like how we communicate in your real world, and compared to machine language or computer language, it has very limited vocabulary. So it need not try to stress more about your language or context of your language. So it will try to have limited vocabulary. Natural language is easily understood by human beings. Computer language is easily understood by the machines only. Okay, yeah. So natural language is in real world is ambiguous in nature, and computer language is unambiguous because it is trained with limited stuff or limited keystrokes. There is no ambiguity in your computer language. But in real world, because of a number of languages between how human beings communicate, there can be ambiguity in your data. Okay, so yeah. So now let's move on to the concept of your syllabus, that is case grammar, which is actual concept which we'll discuss in today's session. Okay, so talking about your in-depth concept of your NLP. So we have seen the basics concepts of NLP as introduction. Now let's move on with the actual syllabus of your unit 5. So this is the first topic of your syllabus, that is case grammar. So the concept is however linked to your English language and also your basic semantics of your language. So this was developed by a linguistic who is called as Charles J. Fillmore in the year 1968. That's the reason it's called as your Fillmore's grammar also sometimes. So the main thing about your case grammar with respect to Fillmore is case grammar uses languages such as English to express relationship between nouns and verbs by using the preposition. Yeah. So now we need to go back to our knowledge of your English with respect to your parts of speech. So I hope everybody of you know what is a noun, what is a verb, what is a preposition, what is the adverb. So because when we have learned about parts of speech in the earlier classes, and now we'll try to use that knowledge with respect to your development of your context free grammar or your case grammars, and how a case grammar will try to understand a text or a sentence given, and it will try to understand what is the noun in the sentence and what is the verb in that sentence, and accordingly it will be using this noun and verb by using your prepositions. So accordingly you will be getting some case grammars. So that's how Charles J. Fillmore has developed a case grammar, so with respect to these basic things. So in case grammar, case roles can be identified or defined to link certain kinds of verbs and objects. So we will be given some sample statement input, and from that we need to identify some semantic using automatic or machine detection. For example, here you can see a small example here, a sentence stating that Ravi broke the mirror with the hammer. So assume that this is a sentence which we are trying to make a machine understand. So in this example, case grammar identifies Ravi as a person or agent. So he is a person who is trying to do some task. So because Ravi is also a name and it is a noun, so he is considered as an agent. Mirror as a theme. So because Ravi is working with some mirror and a hammer instrument here, so mirror is taken as a theme and hammer as an instrument. So this is how it will try to come to a conclusion. So we have given only one line as an input. From that input sentence, it is trying to understand some semantics using your case grammar. Okay, so this is how case grammar will try to understand things in your applications of your NLP. Okay, yeah. So let's now get into the concept of your case grammar. How Fillmore gave his knowledge with respect to your case grammar. So case grammars use the functional relationship between noun phrases and verbs to conduct more deeper case of a sentence. So it will try to take a sentence and understand what is a noun phrase in that sentence. As we have seen previously, Ravi is the noun and he's called as an agent over there. And we'll try to see what is the verb in that sentence, and accordingly it will make some statements and conclusions also. So generally in English sentences, the difference between different form of sentences is quite negligible. So you will be having sentences which are very highly correlated. Suppose if I say the same sentence can be written or in different manner also. Okay, so that's what basically there is a gap between many people. So if you are taking some English with respect to US people, their syntax may be different or their context may be different. So the same sentence can be written in various very different manners. Suppose I can say Ravi break the mirror with the hammer. So here the sentence or the grammar might be different, but some people try to communicate in such manner. Okay, yeah. Or you can say Ravi is trying to break the mirror. That is one important other sentence I can specify. But here the hammer or the object is missing. That's the reason a grammar or a NLP will try to understand each and every word in a given sentence, and it will try to classify things as nouns, pronouns, instruments, agents. Okay, yeah. So in early 1970s, Fillmore gave some idea about different cases of English sentence. So he extended the transformational grammar of Chomsky by focusing more on semantic aspects of view of a given sentence. Okay, yeah. So in case grammars, a sentence is defined as being composed of a preposition P, a modality constituent M, composed of mood, tense, aspect, negation, and so on. So guys, with respect to definition of case grammar, this is a definition for your case grammar. So that is, it can be mathematically represented or with respect to equations like S implies M plus B, where M is the modality constituent and P is the preposition. So we will try to look into this concept in the example in the next slide. Yeah, so where P is set of relationships between among verbs and noun phrases, like how nouns and verbs will be linked. So previously you can see here Ravi broke the mirror. So Ravi is the noun and breaking or broke is the verb here. He is doing some action. Okay, so that can be identified by using your a preposition called as P here, or P is by implies your C here, that is your case. Okay, yeah. So now let's look into one more example to understand the concept of your case grammar. So for this, I'm taking a small statement which is talking about Ram did not eat the apple. So here I'm talking about one person called as Ram. He did not eat the apple. So this sentence is classified into subparts. You can see here, as the equation said, S implies M plus P. Here M is the negation part, that is the declaration past, and P is having subparts here, that is your preposition. As I said, preposition is a combination of verb and your noun. So here the given sentence, Ram did not eat the apple, eat is the verb. And you can see Ram and apple are the nouns. That's why it is having sub classifications. The tree representation for a case grammar will identify the words by their modality and a case. Okay, so in examination point of view, whenever questionnaire is asked with respect to your case grammar, you need to take a sentence of this manner and try to construct a tree representation for your sentence. The cases may also be instrumental and objective. So as you have seen the previously, hammer is a instrument. And also I can just modify the sentence saying that Ram cuts the apple by a knife. So here cut is the task done and it is the verb, and knife is the instrument here. So here knife is an instrument's case. In the figure, the modality constituent is the negation part, and eat is the verb, and ram, apple are the nouns by which are under the cases C1 and C2. That's why we are calling it as a case grammar. It will try to see how many cases are available. Here you are having two things, that is ram and apple as the cases. Okay. Suppose if I say Ram and Ravi are cutting apples. So here you are having three cases, that is three nouns, that is Ram and one more name and also apple. Okay. So next, case frames are provided for verbs to identify allowable cases. They give the relationship which are required and which are optional. So we are having case frames concepts with respect to your Fillmore's grammar, which will be giving relationship among which are required and which are not required. Okay. Yeah. So let's try to look into the case grammar semantics as per the concept given by your Fillmore. Okay, 1 minute. I'll just share my screen. Yeah. So according to this Fillmore's grammar, it treats the verb as a predicate and subject, comma, objects, and the other subordinate classes as arguments. So you're having two things here, that is predicate and the arguments or the subject here. So labels, it labels the arguments with their relationships to the verb predicate called as cases. So the name is given as case grammar because it is trying to label the arguments. Arguments include subjects, objects, and also other subordinate clauses with their relationship to the verb predicate. That's called as your class. Okay. So for example, here John sold his car. So agent and object cases. So here John is the agent or is the case here, and he is selling, right? That's the verb here, and car is the object here. Okay. Next, you can say here John sold his car to Mary, or agent. Here you can say you are having an agent, object, and also recipient cases. So here having two nouns here, John and also Mary. Here Mary is the recipient case. So in this manner, various text or various languages text will be understood in depth. That's why we have seen the disadvantage of your NLP, like it will need lot of training. That is one important disadvantage of your NLP. Okay. Yeah. So talking about your Fillmore's case grammar, about what is the agent, what is the instrument. Suppose if I say according to the terminology, it is called as agentive or represented with A. The case of typically animate perceived instigator of the action identified by the verb. So suppose if in the previous example you are saying that Ram cuts apple. Ram is an agent. He's cutting the apple. So he is doing some action here. So you all know what is an action verb, right? So whenever somebody is doing some action, it is treated as verb and it is done by an agent. Okay. Yeah. Next, instrumental is the case of inanimate force or object casually involved in the action of the state identified by the verb. So previous example, Ram cuts the apple with knife. So here knife is the instrument which is involved about cutting the apple, that is your verb. Okay. Yeah. So next one is about dative, or we could represent with your day, D, or we call it as later experiencer. The case of the animate being affected by the state or action identified by the verb. Okay. And next one is factive or the lateral goal. the case of the object or being resulting from the action or state identified by the verb. That is, whenever an action is performed, something will be happening with respect to that, right? So it is understood as a part of the meaning of the verb. Okay, so these are the Fillmore's representation of a given statement. So with respect to agentive, or we can call them as instrumental, dative, or factive. It is a terminology of your Fillmore's grammar. And next one is locative. It is the case which identified the location or spatial orientation of the state or action identified by the verb. So assume that Ram is cutting an apple on the table. At which location he is doing that? At the table, or at where actually we are going to specify. That is called as your locative, or with respect to your location. Next one is objective. The semantically the most neutral case, the case of anything representable by noun whose role in the action or state identified by the verb is identified by the semantic interpretation of the word itself. So depending on what is the action to be done, the objective of some work will be mentioned with respect to the verb only. So here verb and noun plays a major role. Okay, yeah. So talking about your last slides of your case grammar. So semantic or the case roles don't depend simply on syntactic roles. Okay. For example, John sold his car to Mary, what we have seen in the previous example. Yeah. So John broke the window, or with the the sentence sometimes talks about John broke the window with a hammer, or you can simply say a hammer broke the window. So without mentioning John, we can simply say a hammer broke the window. But it is not a clear statement. It creates some ambiguity. How a hammer will directly break a window without any noun here. That's how there are some semantics which we need to follow without any syntactical rules. Okay, yeah. So here there is no person involved. That means there is no syntactical role here. Okay, yeah. So you can see a small quiz about your understanding here. So consider the sentences. The burglar opened the door. The door was opened by the burglar. So now, if you are made to understand how to identify the semantics about identify your verb or noun or preposition in the statements. Yeah. So now let's look at into your case grammar, how this will be identified. So here you can see the burglar opened the door. What is the object here? The door is the object, right? So here you can see A is the agent, that is the burglar. Yeah. So door was opened by a crowbar, that is one agent here. The crown bar opened the door. So you can see the statement is here indicated with respect to different case grammars here. This is how case grammar will try to analyze your given statements to identify your agents, objects, and also your syntactical statements accordingly. Okay, so coming to a conclusion, talking about your strengths and weakness of your case grammar. So strengths include only one noun phrase occupies each case role in relation to a particular verb. So as you have seen the previous examples or statements mentioned, we will try to understand what is a open statement here. Okay, yeah. So this model has been used in artificial intelligence along with the subcategorization of your work. So everybody who is good at understanding your real world statements, they can develop your case grammars with respect to your natural language processing. So because every letter or every object or every statements gives you a representation here. Okay, so coming to your last slide, that is weakness of your uh, case grammars, or you can call it as weakness of your natural language processing analysis. Researchers could not agree on a standard set of cases because there are a number of ambiguity in your data. So not always easy in practice to allocate particular noun phrases to cases. Okay, yeah. So that's it about your case grammar, guys. Okay, so thank you all for listening. Yeah.